Ravens and Chargers. This one's slightly more interesting, although another game with a couple injuries in it. Quarterbacks, we have Lamar and Herbert. I feel like Lamar is probably top four for me. Lamar is two for me. Herbert is 13 for me. Again, these are my preliminary rankings, so they may not be exactly spot on. What do you guys think here of uh, Jesse didn't add himself back? What do you guys think here of Lamar and Herbert?
Jesse, what do you got?
So fun internet issues. The phone went too far away, and then I could not connect to the internet, so it's been a blast. But like I'm starting both these guys. I don't know why you would think about benching either one of them. I just like my love for Lamar knows no bounds. So Lamar is going to be a few spots ahead, particularly in this matchup. But both are like top 6 options. Like I'm not worried about Herbert. He's been fantastic all year, and Lamar's a high end QB1 in this matchup for me.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the only thing you're worried about really is the Ravens D. And how well they show up. They've been looking pretty good here, and this offense is going to hold the ball. So, I agree with you, with both of you guys. Herbert's slightly down week here, and Lamar, you just fire him up every week.
I don't think I have Herbert still. I think as when I say top 6, I think I have him as 8, but I think he's in for a bad week. I think the Ravens are going to try and slow this one down and make it a grinded out, messy game because I don't think the Chargers can win that kind of a game with their defense. So I wouldn't be surprised if the Ravens try and run the ball heavily and try and limit this one. Desk is moving. Running backs, we've got Eckler, who's a must start. If he stays healthy, it's always a risk at this point, it seems. And on the Ravens side of the ball, we have Gus Edwards, who is a great start and keep starting him until he gets that obvious touchdown regression, and then you just send him to the bench because sooner or later these 2 touchdown performances are going to disappear. But I guess until then, you just ride the hot hand. What are your thoughts here?
Yeah, he's a very game script dependent running back, but he's a few spots ahead of Keaton Mitchell. Keaton Mitchell's he's upside play if you hit it like a long touchdown run because he can do that. But realistically, I'm counting on Gus Bus, it's particularly in this matchup against the Chargers. Like this is a good matchup for him, so I like rolling with him. And yeah, Eckler, Eckler's just he's Eckler's Eckler. Like that's just what it is. Like no matter the matchup, I'm playing Eckler. So yeah, but I like both Ravens backs in this matchup.
Yeah, but especially Edwards, like you referenced, 9 touchdowns in his last 5 games. I love that they've actually been giving the ball more to Keaton Mitchell so that Edwards doesn't have that insane career best workload, which we don't want to see for a 28-year-old back. Much better. Use him around the goal line. Have him punch it in. I love it. I'll fire him up. And I think he's a lot closer to Eckler this week, just given the matchup.
I fear something bad is about to happen on this show. The other day, Mike tweeted out that he was looking for people to come watch his show, and I went in and decided to go in and just absolutely shit talk. Oh, there we go. I knew I was in trouble. I went in and shit talked Mike and his show for 20 minutes, and now I'm getting a request for him to join the stream. This cannot be good.
There you go. Oh, beautiful. And driving.
Where are you going, Mike? Are you texting? You're not supposed to text and drive.
It's like video chat drive.
I would never.
Yeah, we can see the car moving.
In Richmond. I'm sitting in Richmond traffic, just excited to talk about Chargers Ravens.
Nice.
That's how you know you're a degenerate. That's how you know it, baby.
Oh, good God. All
Fired
right, let's
up,
keep moving.
4 hours.
We got the wide
9-hour drive. Let's get it.
Wide receiver, so Allen's the easy start, and then you got to play guess the Chargers receiver on the other side. I think the interesting one here is Zay Flowers. How much does Zay Flowers improve with Mark Andrews done?
I mean, you would think a lot, right? It's interesting to see if they're going to use him further down the field because that's my biggest question with him. So if they start pushing it down the field more with him, it unlocks a lot more possibility for Zay. But yeah, he's basically top 20. He's right. He's 24 for me, right behind Tank Dell this week. So I'm all aboard the Zay Flowers train. Like he's the only guy I really trust in that offense. Like you can go Bateman, you could go Beckham and do that fun stuff, but it's Zay Flowers. He's the one and only.
Yeah, and I've been a Zay Flowers lover all season, and now I'm actually a little bit concerned that he's not going to be the main beneficiary of the absence of Mark Andrews because Bateman's been gaining the trust of the offense and Lamar in recent weeks. Odell Beckham had a good game out of nowhere. So I just think they're going to it's certainly not going to be Isaiah Likely who comes in and soaks up all those targets. I think they're just going to spread them around. So I'm not as bullish on Zay because he just in the last few weeks hasn't pulled away from these other guys. Still love him though.
So, okay, so you just said you think OBJ could be good. Between that and Calvin Ridley, do you sit around before the show and just think up takes that could possibly piss me off? Is that what you do? You just sit there and go, what am I going to say that's going to piss Aaron off the most? Okay,
this is all I do.
Calvin Ridley.
I'm obsessed with you, Aaron. This is all I think about.
Yeah, I sense that.
The burner account is rolling, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness.
How about you, Mike? What do you think of the receivers here?
I will say, like, Zay Flowers definitely gets a bump, and the traffic is clearing up, so I'm going to have to leave. But Bateman is worth definitely a look in DFS because he's severely undervalued. And, like, he's continuing to grow in his role, and with no Mark Andrews, if they do spread the targets around, like, I would rather bet on a player that seems at least medium with a good quarterback. So,
all right.
You're
Go
starting
drive
Flowers
safe,
with confidence. I'm about, yep. All right, I got to go. Bye.
Drive safe.
I
seen it. I seen the message saying, "Hey, send me the note or send me the invite." And I said, "Oh, this isn't good."
They're like, let's roll, baby. It'll be fun.
Oh, that's Mike. Mike, where's the Steelers expert?
I think Keenan Allen had something like, I don't know how many were credited, but every time I turned around, he was dropping the football last week. He still ended up with like 10 for like a buck, 10 and a tutty or something. So like, I mean, obviously he's the one you want to start in this matchup. It doesn't matter how crappy a day he has; he's still going to post a monster game. And then, the Ravens guys, sure.
My article for everything is correct, as I have Isaiah Likely in here at tight end. I don't know why I didn't change the on-screen graphic. It's Andrews who's done. 5th best matchup for Likely. I'd like to see it at least 1 week before. I mean, if you're desperate, now's the week to play him. Parham, 7th worst matchup. I'm not playing him at all. Cameron Dicker, 11th best matchup. He's been playable. Continue to play him. Bad matchup for Tucker, but you got to play him if you have him. I know I do in a few leagues, and I'm not thrilled about it. He's been disappointing. The defenses here. Middle of the pack matchup for the Chargers, and the 2nd worst matchup for the Ravens. I don't think I want to play either, but as bad as the matchup is, I think I prefer the Ravens here. What do you guys think?
Yeah, same. Like their defense is just better. It is what it is. And I'll say Likely, once you get past into like the commit range of tight ends, like I'll fire shot on Likely just because it's so gross after that, where it's like tight end 13, 14. It's like, who has upside out of that group? Really, nobody does. I don't want to go Donald Parham. Like we've seen this Donald Parham situation for years play out. Like he's just not that good. So I'll bet on Likely at that cost. But yeah, we got to temper expectations with him.
Yeah, and speaking of confidence and Likely, John Harbaugh doesn't have any because he's still lobbying for Mark Andrews to return for the playoffs. He had successful note just came in. He had successful ankle surgery today, and he's still slightly optimistic he can return for the Super Bowl if they get there. But it's not happening. You know,
it's like the Aaron Rodgers. Like he'll be back in 2 months from Achilles surgery. It's like, fucking right, you will.
Keep praying.
Yeah, but think about it. Mark Andrews is out there running routes. Aaron Rodgers is a fucking statue. What does he need an Achilles for? I'm surprised he couldn't play on a crutch. As long as he put the crutch on his non-throwing arm, he can still throw. You wouldn't even notice his rushing yards per game with the crutch might go up. He wasn't moving in.
He's been shotgun. They don't move. You don't move, Aaron Rodgers. You take the shotgun snap. You just you throw it. You don't move.
Yeah. Throw it 30 times a game to Garrett Wilson, please.
Well,
Thank you very much.
So, true or false? Aaron Rodgers on a crutch still better than Zach Wilson.
Oh, yeah. I mean, easily true.
I'll take Division 4th out of Chattanooga quarterback over Zach Wilson at this point. He's awful. Like,
Don't you insult them. That Chattanooga.
So will the Jets. Tim Boyle.